Hi everyone! Today we're going to take a look at the best budget graphics card in the market for this year. First, we're going to show you our top 10 best picks, and we'll talk about what you should look for before buying a budget graphics card. You can find links to all of the products we've mentioned in this video down in the description below. Let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have XFX Radeon RX 580 GTX. The RX 580 is the newest version of Polaris, and all of the features that were in the previous rendition of the RX have been upgraded. It has 8 GB of memory, 4th generation GCN cores, a whole new interface, and its engine has been upgraded substantially. The RX 580 provides gamers with top-end performance and long-lasting durability. It's a good budget graphics card for less than $200, and it outperforms a lot of other cards in its class. It's even capable of playing VR games with ease. However, the 1366 MHz clock speed isn't the most impressive. It's plenty of processing speed to satisfy most people, but it's a little too slow for people who demand a lot from their graphics cards. Moving on to the next at number 2 with MSI Gaming GeForce RTX 2060. The RTX 2060 is a little more expensive than a lot of the other items on this list, but it's still a solid option to use as a budget graphics card. It has 6 GB of memory and boasts a speedy 1710 MHz clock. Even though it has less memory than a number of cheaper options, the memory is GDDR6, meaning its memory system can run faster and more efficiently than many older models. There aren't a whole lot of extra features to talk about. That's one of the reasons that we only suggest this card to people who are looking for raw power. It has some performance advantages over cheaper cards, but it doesn't bring as much value to the table. However, it does come with a digital copy of Anthem, so that's one bonus feature that adds a little bit of value to the overall package. The number 3 position is held by ASUS ROG Strix Radeon RX 560. The Strix RX 560 is a low-budget graphics card that provides just enough power to let you get into PC gaming. It's not very powerful, but it can handle the majority of new games on moderate settings or higher. For less than $140, that's actually pretty impressive. It has 4 GB of VRAM, and it has a clock that can be boosted to 1285 MHz. It also has 1024 stream processors to help speed it up a little bit. If you're the type of gamer that likes RGB lighting, you'll be happy to know that the Strix RX 560 has RGB lighting installed, and it's programmable to look and behave the way you want it to. While the Strix RX 560 isn't very powerful, it does have Tweak Roman 2 installed, so you can easily manage your RX 560's performance settings. If you're just streaming YouTube videos, you can lower its performance a bit, and if you're playing a demanding game, you can give it a little boost. Next at number 4 we have Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. The GeForce GTX 1050 Ti isn't the most powerful graphics card, but it uses NVIDIA's new Pascal architecture to improve its performance, and it's a lot cheaper than the other GeForce models. While the GTX 1050 only has 4 GB of VRAM, it can handle 1080p gaming at 60 FPS, and it can stream video in 8K. That's all due to the new Pascal system that NVIDIA has implemented into the GTX 1050 Ti. This may not be the best choice for every gamer, but it's a solid graphics card, and we recommend it to anyone that is on a tight budget. The number 5 position is held by MSI Gaming GeForce GTX 1660 Ti. The GTX 1660 Ti is one of the higher-end performance graphics cards on this list. It's faster than almost every other card on this list, and it still costs less than $300. It has a powerful GeForce GPU, a 1750 MHz clock, 6 GB of the latest VRAM technology, and it's compatible with the GeForce Experience software that NVIDIA created to monitor their graphics cards. It also has a pre-installed tuning utility that allows you to manage its settings. In our opinion, this is a great card for playing the latest games, and it isn't too expensive. It's probably the best budget graphics card that you're going to find for less than $300. That being said, it has a couple of drawbacks. It's a little too large to fit into an XFX chassis, and you can find a better budget graphics card for 1008 gaming. However, this card is far more flexible than anything in its price range, and it'll make the majority of gamers happy. The number 6 position is dominated by XFX RX 590p DFD6 Radeon RX 590 Fatboy. The XFX RX 590 is optimized to perform admirably for all kinds of gamers, and it's also affordable. It isn't without its flaws, but it is one of the top budget graphics cards. It's simply more flexible than other cards. The RX 590 has 8 GB of GDDR6 VRAM, and it's capable of being overclocked to above average speeds. The amount of power that the XFX RX 590 has for its price is fairly impressive. It's VR ready, and it can handle a lot of the most demanding titles for a low price point. Moving on to the next at number 7 with MSI Gaming GeForce GTX 1660. We've covered several GeForce graphics cards, so you should know what to expect from the GeForce line. This card is no exception to the usual GeForce quality. It provides a lot of power to gamers without costing a lot. It doesn't have as many features as higher-end graphics cards, but it's a great budget graphics card for gaming. It has a faster processor than the majority of cards on this list, but it lacks the VRAM power of other cards that cost the same amount. The GTX 1660 has a 1830 MHz clock, but only 6 GB of GDDR5 memory. Most of the other cards in this price range use GDDR6, and that can make this card underperform in certain situations. If you can't afford the 1660 Ti, then 1660 is the card for you. The number 8 position is held by Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1050. This is essentially a downgraded version of the GTX 1050 Ti. But that isn't necessarily a drawback. It's a lot cheaper, and it's still capable of providing a decent gaming experience. In fact, it'll be difficult to find a card this cheap that doesn't cost $50 more. Unlike the 1050 Ti, the 1050 only has 2 GB of VRAM. However, it does have the same Pascal architecture that the Ti has, so it can make the most of its 2 GB of VRAM. The 1050 also has a downgraded clock, but it's still faster than other options on our list. It can run at 1518 MHz, and NVIDIA claims that it can play games in 1008 despite its lower specs. Next at number 9 we have XFX Radeon RX 570. The RX 570 is another card that's suitable for people on a low budget. It doesn't have the fanciest features, but it is fairly powerful, and it has a decent cooling system to let it run for long periods of time. Despite its cheap price, it has 8 GB of memory, and it's designed to allow you to mine cryptocurrency without having extra equipment. The processor isn't the fastest, but it's good enough to play a large selection of games without stuttering. The XFX cooling system is what really sets the RX 570 apart from the rest of the graphics cards we're reviewing. Despite being cheap, the cooling system is more advanced than you can find in systems twice as expensive. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1060 Windforce. The 1060 Windforce sacrifices some of the power of the basic 1060 for an advanced cooling system. That makes it a little bit weaker, but it can perform at its peak for far longer than the basic 1060. If you're okay with sacrificing a little bit of power for longer sessions, then the 1060 Windforce is for you. It only has 3 GB of memory, but the GeForce Experience software and the included performance utility will allow it to be manipulated for better performance. The clock is pretty fast as it can run at 1797 MHz, and it only requires 400 watts of power from your power unit. That level of efficiency isn't too common in this price range. The Windforce fans in the 1060 Windforce are designed to suck the heat out of the 1060, and a direct touch cooling pipe actively works to lower the card's temperature. That's all for today. We upload budget-friendly product review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.